find that's a very good script.
Uh-huh.
The guy has some big speeches. Powerful, moving, bit of a tearjerker, truth be told.
Uh-huh.
No fight scenes, though. Sorry.
I hate fight scenes.
But you're good at them. Remember the fight scene from Kill Time? Bang, bang, left, right, boom, boom, uppercut.
The only thing you're leaving out is the biff, biff, kapow, Batman!
That was a good scene.
And I died at the end of it.
But you won the fight.
And then on the way out of the warehouse, I got shot by the guy hiding behind the crate. Won the fight, lost the war.
But that guy got executed in the end.
Fat lot of good that did me. I was dead before the closing credits, as usual.
You had a very good death scene, though. 30 seconds of vacant eyes and painful breathing. Please, please, I'm dying. Make it mean something. Don't forget me. Don't. Great death rattle. People still talk about that death rattle of yours.
It would be nice to live long enough to see someone else die for once.
You've seen plenty of people die. Mostly because you've killed them, of course. Guns. You're very good with guns. I'd say better with handguns than with rifles, but still good. And acid. You killed those zombies with acid. What was the name of that movie? Attack of the something.
Seen primarily by people at the drive-in who are more interested in making babies in the back seat than watch me kill those zombies.
Well, still, it was memorable.
Do you remember the first time I died?
Is that a trick question? This isn't like one of those died and gone to heaven and came back things, is it? Because we could do something like that.
I'm serious. Do you remember the first time I died on camera?
Was it that movie of the week where the guy kidnapped all those kids on the school bus and then they ran off the roads because they got caught in a hurricane?
It was a tornado, and no, it was long before that. I was like 12 when I made that thing, and it was so bad, my own grandmother has still not forgiven me for taking that part.
You know, 12 is such an awkward age. You're too young to play the charming orphan, but too old for anything that even hints at sex. Or not old enough for anything that even hints at sex.
I think the industry has evolved since then. I think every 12-year-old gets a sex scene now, or at least some heavy petting.
Can't stand in the way of progress?
I was 9.
Who were you petting when you were 9 years old?
Not who, what? A dog, remember? I was on that TV show. I played the very pale little kid who just moved into the neighborhood, and all the other kids picked on because I wouldn't go out and roughhouse with them. And everything was really awful until I met little Joey, who seemed to be the only decent human being on the entire block. He basically made me his best friend, / charity case, / little brother he never had because mom was too sick to have any more kids. But that didn't prevent dear old dad from walking out on them because he couldn't take the stress anymore. And little Joey had a dog that basically sensed what a lonely loser I was. And I had to pet that damn dog at least 5 times every episode until they discovered that I too had some incurable disease that was more incurable than mom's. And I died. One fine spring morning after my 5-episode arc ended before I ever got to roughhouse with anybody.
Did they actually use that term, roughhouse?
Yes, they actually used that term. I would not go out and roughhouse with the neighborhood juvenile delinquents.
Well, still, that was a pretty good story arc for a 9-year-old kid.
My point is, the first part, you got me, I died.
What did they pay you for that? They usually pay more if there's a death scene involved.
I died off camera. They're not going to show a 9-year-old kid wheezing his last breaths on primetime during family night on ABC.
Not sure they worry about that much now.
Not sure they have family night much more either. Unless it's the Manson family.
Didn't you get an award for that show?
I got a mention on the Emmys that year in the Most Moving Death Scenes montage.
I don't think they do that one anymore.
Probably because so many people die on television each week, they'd have to extend the show an hour just for the montage.
They do seem to have a lot of crime shows now.
And I have died on every one of them. There isn't a crime show out there I haven't done. I have been shot, strangled, beaten, and hit by every manner of public and private transportation. I have been stung to death by one bee and by 1,000 bees. I've fallen off roofs. I've been pushed from rooftops. I've fallen downstairs. I even came back to life that one time in the morgue. It turns out I wasn't dead after all.
Well, then you can't really count that as a death scene.
I was listed in the credits as dead man who comes back to life. I think I can count it.
You did get off the beach in Saving Private Ryan.
And got shot by a sniper 5 minutes later.
You actually had lines in that one, though. That's progress.
Yes, that's everyone's dream in this profession, to actually get to speak before getting killed.
The extras would like that. They barely get their faces shown before they die.
I thought I had an audition for Law & Order.
Which Law and Order? They come and go so fast now, I can't keep track. You know what I read the other day? That somewhere in the world, no matter what time of day or where it is, there is an episode of Law and Order something on television.
You know, that's just great. So you're telling me I've died in every language known to man! I'm the famous American actor who speaks in some wonky version of Cantonese before getting a bullet in the head.
It pays the bills. Look, you've been making a living by dying since you were 9 years old. You must be doing something right.
I thought I had an audition for Law & Order. Something or other.
Look, you've died on television a lot. A lot. The casting folks were like,
wait a minute, Mark Harper. Didn't he just get killed on the reboot of CSI Vegas?
not as Mark Harper, I said. He played a serial killer on that episode.
Well, that might be a little too confusing for our audience.
They said.
They see him as a dead serial killer one week, and then he's out there solving crimes on our show the next week?
So you're telling me that anytime anyone sees Julia Roberts in a perfume ad, they see a high-class prostitute or a lawyer in a short skirt fighting the system for the little guy.
They went in a different direction. They're going to bring a dog on the show.
A dog? That should be interesting, watching a dog in a shootout.
It's going to be some kind of special dog that can sniff out the bad stuff.
Like pedophiles or child pornographers. That should be interesting.
Look, maybe you're overexposed in television.
Well, I should be pretty familiar to the folks at home from the millions of lineups I've been in. Number 4, step forward. Turn to the right, turn to the left. And all of that happens before I get shot in lockup during an unexpected but somewhat cliche prison riot.
Did you read that script?
This script, the one that is currently on the table.
The very thing.
This script is for television. I thought we wanted to get away from television.
It's a movie.
A movie for a streaming service, which is basically television by another name.
It's a movie. If it were a TV show, the script wouldn't be that thick.
And just who is directing this movie?
Pete Parker.
Spider-Man? He's directing this movie.
Not Peter Parker, Pete Parker.
And just how many movies has Pete, not Peter Parker, directed?
He's only done music videos and television before now. This is his first feature film.
Can he see over the camera, or does he need a booster seat?
He's a young and talented newcomer who brings a fresh face and a fresh perspective to the film industry.
You sound like his agent.
I am his agent. We want to do this as a package deal. More money in it for all of us.
Are we going to have to stop shooting every day at 3 so he can go home and take a nap?
I take a nap every day. So do you, as I recall.
We are old. Older. We are not signing our contract with a crayon.
It's a good script. People fought over this script.
Well, people fought over the Alamo. Doesn't mean it was worth anything in the end.
You play a lawyer. Your client is an abused woman who needs out of her marriage to save herself and her children.
Her no doubt adorable little children, perfect little Aryans.
They're both adopted. Some semi-exotic and intriguing, but not too threatening looking mixture from some 3rd or 4th world country I can't pronounce. One we're not currently at war with.
I don't think we have 4th world countries.
That's why she needs to get out of the marriage. The husband doesn't like the way the kids look.
Plus, he never wanted to adopt in the first place.
Of course, he at least wants the kids he rejects to look like him.
He's not the kind of guy who wants to adopt, right? He's always working and traveling somewhere, usually in business class. Plus, he has 2 other families already. But he's not married to those women. He's only married to your client.
At least he has some morals.
Anyway, lots of background digging by the college kid who used to work with the group helping people get off death row, but got tired of that because it was mentally exhausting and somewhat morally ambiguous. A few close encounters with a speeding car or a motorcycle, whichever plays better on film. Some moments of weakness on the wife's part, where she thinks that any dad, even a bad one, is better than no dad at all. Which my experience tells me is a total crap thing to do to kids. A few of those Hitchcock moments filmed in the dark so you can't see a damn thing happening on the screen, but the music makes it scary. And some exciting and dangerous investigations into the husband's dubious background by a colorful but somewhat shady former FBI agent and an even more colorful but equally shady private detective.
The detective's not a dog, is he?
LGBTQ.
Which one?
Depends on who they cast. Could be Alan Cumming.
Still a little up in the air, then.
Anyway, your part, big case, lots of big speeches. You can use your best Atticus Finch voice. Play to the jury. Flirt a little with the forewoman. Some conflicts with the judge, some conflicts with the husband's attorney.
Who turns out to be the ex-wife of my character.
So you did read the script. Dramatic verdict after the husband blows up in court and shows everyone exactly why the woman deserves a divorce to begin with.
When you say blows up.
Loses his cool. He couldn't literally blow up. That would be pretty unrealistic.
As opposed to the rest of this script. But just to be clear, my character walks out of the courthouse alive, right? He saves the woman and her adorable children, and he walks out of the courthouse alive and into the sequel.
He walks out of the courthouse alive, yes.
And into the sequel.
There may be a sequel, yes. Read the last page.
Oh, okay. A long speech here, some righteous indignation here. What could be a gunshot here?
Or a car backfiring.
Or a car backfiring. Dramatic closing address. Walks out of the courthouse with, no doubt, some triumphant techno crap music playing, considering who the director is. And he is met at the bottom of the steps by an elderly woman who pulls out a gun and shoots him dead center in the forehead.
She's the husband's mother. Turns out she really likes being a grandma.
She's 80 years old!
She lives in a bad part of town, carries a gun for protection.
She uses a walker. You're telling me that she hobbles up to him with her walker and pulls out a gun and kills him?
It's a very dramatic scene. Totally unexpected. It was Pete's idea.
Does she pull the gun out of her bra?
Ooh, she could. Oh,
It's a movie. It's a movie. It's a movie. Tell yourself that, Mark. It's something you like to do. It's something you need to do. Who knows? Maybe you'll be dead yourself by the time it plays.
Is that a yes I'm hearing? It's a sweet package deal. Your guy could have a cockatoo, if you're cool with that. I got a great animal guy on retainer.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Just to be clear, you're saying yes to the cockatoo?
I'm saying yes to the movie. Once again, I will die for the greater good of all mankind. And my mortgage. And my daughter's braces.
I'll get you your own trailer on the set.
That gives me great comfort.
I'll get a vegan caterer.
Tasteless food with a tasteless movie. What could be better?
We can talk salary tomorrow. I'll run all this past Pete tonight.
Do give Spider-Boy my best.
Call me tomorrow.
You're my agent. You're supposed to call me.
Right, got it. Call you tomorrow.
Dead career number 1, step forward. Turn to the right. Turn to the left.